Hello, hello. It's Dr. J. I am back for day 17. Ooh, goodness, we've been doing this that long? Let me go ahead and do what I do. Share this out while you all hop on this beautiful Sunday. Any day is beautiful, right? Any day we have an opportunity to breathe yet again is a beautiful day in my book. So join me, grab a seat, get comfortable, say hello, right? As you enter into my virtual home, you know how things go down here. We speaks around here. So if you're hopping on, make sure you say hello. And we will get started in just a moment. Make sure you share this out. Because we are about to get started here shortly. But again, we're allowing Facebook to build the audience, allowing me an opportunity to share this out as I typically do, and allowing you to get comfy as you enter my virtual home. Say hello, give me heart loves, thumbs up, as we are preparing for night 17 of the 30-day productivity challenge. So I hope you are just as excited as I am, because we are well over halfway through this thing. So we are pushing right through. We are being consistent and committed to this goal. I know I am, and if you've been sticking around, you are as well. So I have one more spot to share this out, and then I will be able to get us started here. So again, if you're tuning in, make sure you say hello, give me heart love, thumbs up, say something as you enter my virtual home so I can make sure I greet you. I want to know who's out there, who I'm talking to, and who will be engaging with me throughout this live, right? This is day 17 of the 30-day productivity challenge. And as you know, the challenge isn't just for me. No, it's not. It's for us. And what this challenge is all about is being intentional, right? We've talked about how having intention versus being intentional are two different things, right? Having intention is having that plan. Being intentional means you're taking action on that plan. And we're talking about both of those throughout this 30-day challenge. So if you haven't been tuning in for the past 16 days, then I hope that you take the time to binge watch, because you got to catch up. And all of the recordings are on my page, my Facebook page. You can connect with me there at DRJATUN. Make sure you catch up, because there are lots of goody treats that I share, right? Some principles that I actually discuss in my book, Intentional Living, that was released earlier this year. And as I stated, I actually did some pre-recorded videos when I initially launched my book. But because it's December, right, and because we are approaching 2018, I thought it would be very beneficial for not only me, because I got to remind myself too, right? It doesn't exclude me, but for me to also share and remind you of these tips as we progress and enter into 2018. So it's time for us to get going, right? So beyond the planning, beyond the thoughts, beyond the dreams, what are we doing to manifest greater things in 2018? But it starts today. No use in us waiting for the 1st of January, feeling like, okay, now I have to feel bummed out about what I didn't accomplish in 2017. So for the rest of December, I'm just going to sulk. I'm just going to be mad at myself, beat myself up in a street fight, do all that stuff, right? Before I enter into January, because that's when I'm going to start over, start anew, reframe my mind and my negative thoughts. No, let's do that now. So that's why I'm here, right? So I want to encourage you to start today, start now, as we prepare to welcome 2018. So now we're not asking 2018, what do you have in store for me? It's more like, this is what I'm bringing to 2018. This is what's about to go down in 2018, right? And we all know that, our plans don't always happen the way that we intend for them to do. Sometimes God has a bigger plan, right? So, but the thing is that we have intention, right? We have a plan for us, because we always talk about faith, right? But faith without works is dead. So in other words, you've got to put the work in, whether that be planning, whether that be obtaining your clarity, whether that be putting one foot in front of the other and actually doing something, right? So there are many different aspects of this thing, but we've talked about, if you're just tuning in, this is the 30-day challenge, 30-day productivity challenge to be specific. And we're talking about principles, daily principles that you can implement into your lives that will help you increase your productivity while maintaining peace of mind. So here's the thing. Today, I almost just did not want to hop on. I'm just saying. I got to be honest. I just did not feel like it, right? Hence why, hey, teacher, thanks for the hard love. Hence why I had to put on my Nike hat, because I had to tell myself, just do it, girl. Just do it. And sometimes that's what we got to tell ourselves, right? Whether it be an item, like I had to actually put on the hat to get me in that mood and remind myself, Nike said, just do it. And that's what we're doing today. We just going to do it. Because I was sitting up just as comfortable as I could be, relaxing, sipping on a little wine, had my dinner and all that good stuff. So I was comfortable, right? But I said, no, I committed to this, right? I'm dedicated to this. Not only this project or process for me, but for you as well, right? And as I always say, pay attention to the process and not just what I say. My coach tells me that all the time. So I want to tell you that, and I say that because just because I'm saying that I've committed to this 30-day doesn't mean that it's just something that I'm saying, right? I'm putting it out into the universe because I'm holding myself accountable. And when I do that, I have to live up to my word, right? Regardless of how I feel, I have to show up and show out. So hence, again, the Nike hat, just do it. So that's what we're doing today. We're just doing it. So again, we're on day 17, principle 17, if you're going by what I refer to as my chapters in my book. And the book is Intentional Living, Increasing Your Productivity While Maintaining Peace of Mind. So these principles not only assist you in increasing your productivity, right, as you work towards manifesting those dreams and those desires that you have in your life, but it's also helping you maintain your sanity. I'm just saying, we got so many things going on, so many aspirations and goals. We often get overwhelmed, right? And so then that peace of mind kind of falls by the wayside, right? We forget about having sanity, right? And this is what these steps and these principles are collectively. I say collectively because it's two things that we're doing, right? We're achieving productivity, but we're also keeping our minds right, right? And speaking of minds, if you haven't been tuning in, the first section we talked about was shifting your mindset, because we had to get our minds right. Sometimes we don't stop and do that thing that's the most important, and that's focusing on exactly what it is that we're thinking, right? What is it that we're allowing into our space, into our ears, our eyes, everything that then manifests in our soul, in our thoughts, right? So it could be people, it could be experiences, it could be all of these many different things. Hey there, Mr. Marlin. And he says, of course, good morning, even though it's nighttime. Bless his heart. Well, it's nighttime where we are. I guess it's morning somewhere. And, Mr. Cowan, you're back in the DFW. So how was Cabo? I hope you enjoyed that trip. So yes, guys, we talked about shifting your mindset. We had to get your mind right. We had to lay that foundation. Sometimes you got to dig up some things, right? And get a new foundation laid. And that's what we were doing. Reframing your thoughts, removing those negative thoughts, and getting past being that negative Nancy, right? Or that negative Nate. Nancy or Nate, whoever it is, right? But we had to remove those thoughts and reframe those. So whenever we were thinking negative thoughts, right, talking ourselves out of greatness before we even allow ourselves the opportunity to attempt to achieve those things, we talk ourselves out of it, right? So we wanted to reframe those thoughts so that we can reframe our actions. So here's the thing. After we talked about setting your mindset, resetting your mindset, or should I say that, right? We had to progress then into planning. So we talked about not failing to plan. So we talked about the many things that you need to do to ensure that you have a plan in place, because we all know if you don't have a plan, you plan to fail pretty much, right? So if you're not intentionally laying out a plan for your future, for your goals, for your life, right? For your family, just a plan in general, then you don't have a plan at all. So you're just going about the days hoping that things will fall into place, right? And you don't even know what that place is because you don't have a plan. Go figure. So it's best for us to really truly identify what it is that we enjoy, what it is that we want to see in our lives in the future, because everything that we've done up until this point is what got us to this point. So if you're unhappy with where you are financially, relationship wise, right? Spiritually, fitness wise, if you're unhappy in any of those or beyond that, any aspect of your life, then think about those things that you've done up until now to get you to where you are. What did you do? What could you change? What are those rituals? Remember, you talked about developing rituals too. What were those rituals that you've been implementing in your life day in and day out that have gotten you to this point? What are some things that you've done in your rituals that you may need to reassess and say, wait a minute, I need to stop doing that, right? I eat burgers every Thursday and I gained weight. Well, yeah, probably going to happen. So we may need to reframe or repurpose that burger. Maybe we need to, graduate to some turkey burgers or something, or just eliminate the burger altogether. Point is, whatever that ritual is that doesn't align with your goal or doesn't align with where you thought you would be right now, then it's time to reassess, right? We need to reframe, reassess, and get ourselves together so that tomorrow, further down the line, next year, 5 years from now, we're closer to the goals that we anticipated that go around in that phase, right? And so then we went into talking about making every minute count. And we particularly talked about the fact that there are 1,440 minutes in a day. So that means you got 1,440 opportunities to be great, to do something awesome, to make an impact, right? So take advantage fully of all the minutes that you have, because you just never know when your minutes will run out, right? And so you want to make sure that every breath that you take is taken in a direction or taken for a reason, right? That is worthy of your cause, worthy of your goals and your ambitions, right? So you don't want to waste any breaths. You don't want to waste any seconds, minutes, any time. So make every moment count. So we're still in that section, which is the third section of my book. And remember, we have 5 total sections to go through. So we're on section 3. And today we're talking about low-hanging fruit. So if you tuned in yesterday, I did let you know what the topic is for today. Typically, I don't do that just because I want you to jump on and I want you to tune in for yourselves, right? And listen in and find out for yourself what's going on. Furthermore, I want you to get your copy of the book so that you can follow along and maybe even go ahead. Some of y'all A students, you did that in college and in high school and everything else. You did a little ahead of work. So that's what I would like for you to do so that you can have that leg up, right? So you can be prepared for the discussions that we're having. So make sure that you get your copy if you hadn't already. I want to make sure that I throw that out there, right? Also, if you're ordering the book, I share a link to the book to purchase the book from my website. But if you're not using that link and you're purchasing it from Amazon, then it's coming from Amazon's inventory, which means that it's not coming directly from me and I won't be able to sign it. So if you want it autographed, you need to use the link that's on the video, but otherwise you can still order it on Amazon as well. So I had to throw that out there. So low-hanging fruit. Let's talk about low-hanging fruit. I love talking about low-hanging fruit because we get so overwhelmed. I know thus far, as I mentioned, we've talked about getting clear. We talked about documenting your plan. We've talked about truly assessing and reframing your negative thoughts, right? But now that you've outlined this plan, you may have this plan in place or you may be in the process of outlining your plan, right? But you're now saying, okay, I have this plan. I'm looking at everything that I've outlined for the next year, right? Maybe even just the first quarter. We won't push it and say the full year, okay? We'll say the first quarter of 2018. I got a plan, but I just don't know which order that I should, take these tasks in. I got this long list of to-dos, these ambitions, these goals, but what do I do first? And that's when that low-hanging fruit comes in, right? When I was in my doctoral studies, one of my, they call them, mentors, and or committee members that review your dissertation. And during that process, I would get really frustrated because it was just so overwhelming, right? It was so many pieces to that. Now, mind you, that's pretty much writing another book, right? So that was, I count that as my first book. But in that process, I was getting overwhelmed and I was getting, defeated. I was feeling defeated because I was like, gosh, this is just taking much longer than I anticipated. It was a lot more work than I anticipated. And the more I felt like I was putting in the effort, the more I felt like I was getting pushed back, right? It could be minor things, APA manual, if you're familiar with that, right? It could be anything. They want to push it back and I got to start from scratch or start over in that section. It was a lot of work. So whenever my lead mentor would talk to me, one thing that she would always ask me, but when she first asked me, I was like, what the heck is she talking about, right? And this was back, 2011 or so. And she would say, so Jatun, how do you eat an elephant, right? And again, when I first heard her ask me this question, or when she first asked me the question, I'm thinking, I don't know. I don't eat elephants. What do you mean? Right? And her answer was, one piece at a time. So you have this big, massive accomplishment ahead of you, right? This big, massive thing that's standing before you that you want to conquer, that you want to get on the other side of. And when you're looking at that, you can feel like, oh gosh, that's way bigger than me, right? I can't possibly overcome that. I can't possibly bypass this big thing. But when you break it down and you say, let me slice this thing up, right, into bite-sized pieces that I can consume, then it seems more feasible, right? So when we talk about low-hanging fruit, I want you to keep that in mind, right? What are those things that after you carve it out and you say, let me chop this elephant down and identify exactly what little pieces and what size the pieces should be that I can actually consume in one setting, then now you can have a better aspect or a better perspective of the overall goal that you have. And that way it's not as overwhelming as you just looking at the full elephant, so to say. Elephant being your to-do list, your goals, your ambitions. So when we chop that up, now you got a better feel. Like right now you're not as fearful as you were before about overcoming and surpassing this big thing. So now that we've done that, so in these small pieces, what's low-hanging fruit, right? If you're in a forest or, you're near a tree, an apple tree, and you want to grab an apple, right? Typically, you won't just take it upon yourself to climb this tree to get the apple at the very top of the tree when you got plenty of apples just kind of hanging right within your reach. So why would you want to take forth extra effort when you have those apples that are hanging there that you can literally just reach up and grab? I'm just saying, eventually you will, right, need to take the effort to climb up the tree because that's you progressing towards your to-do list, right? That's you progressing through and getting those tasks done. But immediately when you want to knock some things out and really see some space made or some items checked off your list, then you want to look at those things that are low hanging. Hey, Sharon, thanks for joining. Thanks for the thumbs up and the heart love. And Mr. Thompson, I am not going to attempt to pronounce your name, but Mr. Thompson, thanks for joining. Thanks for the thumbs up. And Mr. Cowan, you said you preach that to your direct reports all the time. Listen at you. Listen at you, as the old folks would say. That low-hanging fruit is a winner. And I got to say that, again, when we think about our to-do list or, our overall plan and goals for the year, it can get overwhelming. We have a list of so many things, right? You have these big ambitions, and when you write it down, it can be overwhelming as well, right? And it's already overwhelming when you just have it in your mental space, right? Because you don't really remember from day to day and you get new thoughts and all this stuff. So that's why it's good to write it down. But once you get it written down, now it's even more overwhelming because you see everything that you've been thinking. And it's like, wait a minute, I didn't know I was, that ambitious. But that's why we have to then go back and say, okay, what's something that I can possibly complete today? What are some things that I can complete within 5 minutes, 10 minutes, right? That won't take that much time or effort, right? Because if you are able to do that, you may find more of those items that you can quickly check off your list, and then your list is dwindling down, right? Your goals are dwindling down, and now you can focus more attention on those bigger things and prioritize those. Hey, Sean, thanks for joining. Thanks for the heart love. Sharon We are winners. Yes, we are goddesses. Absolutely. I thank you all for joining, especially if it's your first time, because if it's your first time, it won't be your last. Sometimes I gotta sing that. Y'all heard that vibrato? So this is a 30-day productivity challenge if you're just joining, if it's your first time. So I hope that you will continue to listen in, not only today, but as we go forth until the 30th of this month. So we're talking about intentional living and specifically increasing your productivity while maintaining peace of mind. So we are on day 17. So you have missed out on 16 days. I'm just saying. Holidays are coming up. I know some of y'all got vacation, so you go ahead and set aside some time to binge watch. Catch me on my recordings, my replays rather, on my page at DRJTUN on Facebook, and make sure that you watch and catch up so that when you come back on tomorrow, because I know you're going to come back tomorrow, right? That you will be up to speed and ready to go, as Shanae used to say. Hey, Tisha, thanks for joining. And yes, Sharon, see you already agreed. It won't be your last time. Thank you, love. So make sure you guys are sharing this out as well. I have done that, as you know, in the beginning. That is one of my main steps. I make sure I share this out because sharing is caring. And I wouldn't dare ask you to do something that I don't do myself, right? So hopefully you are sharing this out as well. Hopefully you are liking, loving, giving me thumbs up, and you've come into my virtual home. So be kind, right? Be respectful. Say hello. Give me thumbs up. Let me know where you're watching from. Let's see what Sean is saying. I would definitely try to please do, Sean, because I think it's going to be beneficial to you. And the book is called Intentional Living, as I mentioned, right? And these principles are intentionally placed in the book in the order of which they were. So with that being said, it will behoove you to go back and pay attention and take notes and get all caught up. Listen to all the lives that were pre-recorded 16 days back so that tomorrow on day 18, you're caught up. And or get your very own copy. I'm just saying. There are productivity ponders at the end of each of the sections. I always got to turn this at a certain angle so you can see it, if you can see that. But so not only does the book provide you inspiration, motivation, empowerment, right, and some tools and tips, but at the very end of each principle, there are questions that are going to ignite your thoughts, right? How can I implement this principle in my life right now today? That's what the questions are directed towards, right? Getting you into action, because I always remind my folks that are listening to me, that follow me, that I am more than inspirational. I am more than motivational. I'm more of transformational even, because I want you guys to get into action, right? We can have all the Asians, inspirations and motivations, but I need you to get into action. And that's truly what's holding us back, right? That action or the lack thereof. Because we are progressed through 2017 and some of us are looking back like, Lord, where did the time go? I thought I was going to do this, that, and the third, and I only did this. So you got to play catch up. But I don't want you to feel like you failed because you didn't, right? Things happen, life happens. And if you didn't have a plan in place, that's what you got to expect that will happen. So that's why we are here in December, just before we go into 2018, outlining a plan for 2018, because we showing up in 2018 saying, look, this is what I got. I'm ready. What's coming? Instead of, oh Lord, I don't know what's about to happen in 2018. Lord help. No, we're going to have a plan. We're going to have a plan. Good vibes and positive energy over here, beloved. Awesome, Sharon. That's what I love. Usually I'm recording in my office and I have one of those pictures that are in my office behind me, usually when I record, that says good vibes only. So I am glad you are coming with those good vibes, honey, because that's what we got up and through here. And Sharon, your question, website, if you look in the lower third on my screen here, there's my website there. But if you don't see it, it is drjatun.com. Make sure that you do check me out. Again, I'm on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at drjatun. And what else we got here? What else? Watching from Detroit. Oh, hey, Amari. Thanks for watching from Detroit. How's the weather there? And Sharon, you're asking for the link to the book. I will be posting that as soon as the book, or as soon as the, actually I'll do it now, just in case you hop off and you miss it. But usually I post that on the video when I complete it. Hey, Dr. O. Thank you for joining and thanks for sharing as usual. Dr. O be on it, y'all. Let me tell y'all. If you tuned in late, you know that I told you I had to put on my Nike hat today because Nike say just do it, and your girl just didn't want to do it. Not today, and it being this live. But I said, let me get on here and make sure that I record, and I can't afford not to record, right? So that was my motivation to record, and I had to wear this hat. But you might have joined and thought, oh, she worked out today. No, not quite. Not quite, not today. But I say all that to say, Dr. O, you need to connect with her. She has cussing and cardio. I'm just saying. Not only is it hilarious, but she's also offering some awesome tools and tips from a fitness perspective. And even beyond that, actually, just make sure you follow her. Let's see here. Sharon wanted that book link, so I'm trying to get that for her so that you guys have it in case you want to hop off. So if you're joining now, I am Dr. Jatun Dorsey. If this is your first time, as I always say, it won't be your last. You hear that? That's my phone. I'm trying to do dual work here. Okay. So the link has been posted, Sharon. So you got that now. Oh, thanks, Sharon. Girl, let me tell you, I had to put that hat on for some encouragement today. Because I needed some oomph. But again, if you're just tuning in, we were talking about low-hanging fruit. So we want to focus on those things that are easy for us to achieve and knock out. After we've developed a plan, we've already talked about shifting your mindset. Again, if you've just tuned in, today is your first day, you've got to get caught up. I couldn't possibly give you everything that we've talked about over the 16 days in this one episode, right? So make sure you get caught up so that tomorrow you will be on the same page with us as we continue to progress through day 30. I'm just saying, we're pushing right through this thing, increasing productivity while maintaining peace of mind. And I hope that this has been beneficial for you. I know that it has because I've heard from you. So thank you to all of you who have purchased books, who have completed the survey, who have shared this out, who continue to hop on. Let me tell you, I just appreciate you guys. And it is my deepest desire to help you increase your productivity, right? And that's why I keep emphasizing the fact of action, right? That's what I want to drive in you, right? Light a fire under you, hold you accountable to action. I am your success synergist, which means that whatever your success desires are, I am here to work with you in order to achieve that thing, right? That's where that synergy comes in. So hopefully that is what you have joined and you expected when you joined here, because we're about action, not just talking, action. So what we got here? Oh, thank you, Marlon. Marlon, see, Marlon's on it. I'm going to have to put you on payroll, Marlon. He says, don't forget to do the survey. Please don't. Please, please, please don't. So the survey, thanks for that, Marlon. The survey is requesting feedback from you all, right? For 2018, I have some awesome plans for some programs, some other teaching tools and such. And I just want to hear from you guys and see what it is exactly that you need, right? What do you need assistance on from love, life, business, or maybe even beyond that? And with this survey, it's going to take you less than 5 minutes. Only about 5 questions, right? Quick and easy. But you have an opportunity to win a prize just for taking the time out of your busy schedule, because you could be doing anything in the world, right? But you decided to offer me some time and complete the survey. So I have to show you my appreciation for that. So at the end of this month, I intend to select a winner for that raffle, and we'll be announcing that in January. As I always say, my great aunt would say, January. Hey, Vicky, how are you? Thanks for joining. Let's see what else. We got some folks giving a shout out to Dr. O for sharing. Told y'all she be on it. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and wrap this up. As I mentioned, low-hanging fruit. We're going to grab those apples that are low so that we can knock out some things quick and easy on our list so that we don't feel as overwhelmed, right? And we can then focus more on those other items that may be bigger and require more effort and work, right? But we can get what we can get right now. That's what we want to focus on. So don't get overwhelmed. Don't feel defeated. And don't beat yourself up in a street fight because you got this. You got this. We're going to work together. Remember the Success Synergist. I am here with you to support you. Make sure that you complete the survey. Please do. I'm going to offer out a opportunity to win, as I mentioned. So I'll be sharing that link. Grab your book. Remember, if you order it through Amazon, you're not getting it directly from me, so it won't be signed. If you use the link that I provided in the comments, and it will also be shared on the video post. If you order from there, then I will be able to sign it before it's shipped out. Vicky, I'm happy you're listening as well. Hey, Desmond, thanks for the thumbs up and thanks for joining. Make sure you guys are sharing this out. I am on every day through the 30th of this month. After that, we will be announcing, I say we, I'm probably going to be on the one recording, right? I will be announcing frequency thereafter. And then also you have to catch a day with the Dorseys. That's the podcast with my husband and I, where we talk about the 5 F's, right? Not every day do we talk about all 5 F's, but one of the F's we touch upon, right? So this week's episode will be released tomorrow. Make sure that you're watching and you're watching the page, my page at DRJTUN to get the latest and greatest on that. And he will be joining me as well for 1 or 2, if I can squeeze 2 out of them, of the lives during this 30-day productivity challenge. So keep following because that one is bound to be hilarious. I'm just saying. And also fun and educational, right? So make sure that you catch that, right? Make sure that you continue to follow me, continue to share because this truck is moving, this train is moving. Make sure you hop on and buckle up your seatbelts. I'm just saying, because it's time to get into action today, not tomorrow. We're not waiting on 2018. We're waiting on now. Today is the time. You got 1,440 minutes a day that you got opportunities to do better, to be better, right? So let's take advantage of every moment. And that is the section that we're still on with actually one more principle in that section. And then we'll be moving on to one more principle in this section. And then we're moving into the last 2 sections. So we are trucking right along. So with that, beautiful people, I am going to hop off of here, get back comfortable, get back with my wine, so I can get ready for Monday. Remember, Sunday, right? We talk about Sundays all the time, and it is Sunday. So I just got to remind you, a Sunday well spent brings a week of content. So make sure that you're doing something great tonight, even if I know it's late tonight and that may be your first time hearing that, but I want to encourage you to do something awesome so that you have a plan to be successful for next week, right? For Monday, even if it's so late, just plan something for your Monday and Tuesday so that you can be successful and achieve something on your to-do list and in your goals. So with that, this is Dr. Jatun Dorsey. I appreciate you again for joining, and make sure that you tune in tomorrow and make this moment perfect, because there's no moment that is perfect, right? So we've got to make the moments that we currently have perfect. So until next time, bye for now. And I look forward to chatting with you tomorrow. Bye.